So what do you do with a negative angle? Well, I'm glad you asked. The more familiar you get, the more familiar you get with the unit circle, the easier negative numbers are going to be to do. Because if you know that 135 is right here, you go backwards. So we're going that way. We're just going to head back the same direction, or the opposite direction, but the same distance. So if I ended up going through one quadrant and stopping in the second, I'm going to go through one quadrant and stop in this quadrant here. And it's the same thing as saying 225. And we know that the 225 is going to give me, first of all, because of that, I could have said root 2 over 2. But the fact that that leaves me in the third quadrant, that means it's going to be a negative. Or what you could also do, take that negative 135 and add 360 to it. And that should give you 5 and carry the, there's no carry. Yeah, then carry the 2 and then the 2. So 225, negative 135 is the same thing as saying 225. So whether you do it visually on the circle or not, it doesn't matter. However you get there, as long as you get there. Negative 180, around the unit circle backwards to here and stop. That's going to give you the negative 1 because the cosine is the x value. Sine of negative 60, well, if I go positive 60, I'm a tall triangle in the first quadrant. If I go negative 60, I'm a tall triangle in the fourth quadrant. So what sine was up here, positive root 3 over 2, is going to be a negative root 3 over 2. And finally, 450, well, that's more than one rotation. So 450, if I'm subtracting that from 360, and you're saying, well, wait, you're subtracting the wrong one. Well, that's what you do. You're going to go I don't know. I got to go back 2 rotations unless I'm okay with this. And I subtract, and that's a 15, that's a 9, I borrowed, and so it's just a negative 90. So negative 450, if I take a 360 away from that, I'm at negative 90. But what I could also do is say, well, let's go 720 minus 450. There's your 0, there's your 12, and your 7, and you borrow, and you got your 270. It's either positive 270 or negative 90, depending on which way makes more sense to you. Either one of those is going to be down here. So it's going to be what kind of 1? Negative 1. You got it.